When you come across mindfulness, you often hear about letting go as a mechanism that helps with suffering and struggling. And the idea here is that holding on to things is part of what keeps us kind of caught up with them. And so learning to let go of them, and other words that are used like acceptance and allowing and letting be, are all in the same arena. That learning to let go of things can actually bring freedom and relief from the struggle that we all find ourselves caught in. The trouble with this is, though, is there's no explanation of how you actually do that. I mean, how do you let go of something? If it were that straightforward, we'd just do it. And I think there are a couple of things here that can be really helpful to give us a sense of actually what are the mechanics of letting go. One of these is actually about looking at and seeing and feeling holding on. All the ways that we grip. Whether it be the grip of thought, that we just want to keep going with a particular thought or argument, and actually feeling the energy of that, seeing that clearly. Or feeling the grip in the body that comes and with our emotions, that felt sense and the energy of holding on, actually seeing that calmly and clearly. And this takes a little bit of time, can begin to, well, really when we see that, we quite naturally begin to let go because we see and feel how uncomfortable it is. And oftentimes it's just not recognized. We know that it's happening, but we don't really recognize the holding on that's happening and the discomfort of that. And quite naturally, when we feel that, some releasing or softening spontaneously happens. Another piece of this puzzle, though, with letting go is actually the holding on that is helpful. We can't just release ourselves into the unknown. We need some sense of stability, of something we can trust, that we're basically going to be okay. And that's often why we're holding on to things in the first place, is we have some sense that somehow we know what's going on at least with them. And so that gives us some sense of consistency and stability, even if it's difficult for us. And so if we want to be able to let go of some of this, actually learning to hold on to other things can be really helpful. And this is not to kind of grasp at other things and desperately hold on to them. That's just another form of being wrapped up and caught up with things. But we can learn to hold on to things lightly so that we can trust that it's going to be okay to let go of some of the other things. And this is the whole deal with things like, being aware of breathing or feeling the ground beneath you or something like that. It doesn't seem like much to begin with, but over time we learn to trust that. We get a felt sense of confidence in that, and that brings a kind of stability and a sense of okayness so that we can begin to, take the risk of letting go of some of these other things. And some of this might be conscious, but I think a lot of it actually happens sort of unconsciously, just when we feel, actually, I'm okay, I think now. The possibility of releasing happens spontaneously. And so these two mechanisms here of seeing and feeling the grip of holding on and clocking how uncomfortable that is, and learning to hold on skillfully, helpfully to things. Also the whole realm of appreciation and gratitude and cultivating kindness, other qualities like steadiness, some meditations like where you're visualizing a mountain, things like this. They're all in the service of learning to trust something that will enable us to let go of those habits and patterns that are no longer serving us. So some of the mechanisms there of letting go and how it relates to holding on. I hope that was helpful or useful in some way. If you've got any comments or questions, do let me know. Okay.